Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful story about inclusion, but we're going to see it through the eyes of a student named Anthony. And his story, well, it's not just about the challenges he faces. It's about the incredible strength we can all find in our everyday lives.
And right off the bat, Anthony tells us who he is. Notice he doesn't lead with his disability, right? He leads with his purpose. He's a student. Period. Just like everybody else. That simple choice, it sets the whole stage for a story about what we all share, not what makes us different.
He's super clear about this. The difference isn't in what he wants to achieve or who he is as a person. It's just about the mechanics of how he gets from point A to point B. So let's actually walk through a day in his shoes and see what that really looks like.
Okay, so a different kind of morning. It all starts with wanting to learn. For Anthony, the most important part of his morning routine isn't just getting ready physically. It's that mental drive, that real desire to learn that truly gets his day going.
So Anthony has what's called an orthopedic impairment. But listen to how he describes it. It just means he walks, stands, and moves at a different pace. It's a simple, factual thing about his body, not some big label that's supposed to define his whole life. And this is the key point, isn't it? He draws this incredibly powerful line in the sand right here. His physical challenges, they have absolutely nothing to do with his hunger to learn and grow. His ambition is totally separate from his mobility.
So that drive is what gets him to school. But once he's actually through the doors, a whole new challenge begins. And here's the thing, it's not the classes that are tough, it's the building itself.
Think about it. For most of us, getting to class is just something we do. We don't even think about it. But for Anthony, it's like solving a puzzle over and over all day long. Stairs might as well be brick walls. Crowded, narrow hallways are a huge bottleneck. And that bell, that ticking clock between classes, that adds a whole layer of pressure. These aren't just little annoyances. They're major roadblocks to his education.
And this brings us to a really, really critical idea at the heart of this whole story. It's the difference between needing access and wanting special treatment. Understanding this is key to figuring out what real inclusion is all about.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. Anthony isn't asking for things to be made easier for him. He's not looking for special treatment. He just wants what everyone else has, a clear path, a chance to get to the same starting line so he can have the same opportunities as everyone else.
So what does that access actually look like in real life? Well, it's pretty straightforward. It's having enough physical space to actually move. It's having enough time to get to class without feeling that constant anxiety. And, maybe most importantly, it's being in a classroom where teachers see him and his potential, where they believe he belongs, not just seeing his wheelchair.
All right, so we've talked about the physical stuff, the environmental hurdles. But what about the obstacles we can't see? Let's shift gears now and talk about the social side of things that Anthony deals with every single day.
And this is a question for all of us, really. I want you to just take a second and think about it. When you meet someone new, especially someone with a visible disability, what's the very first thing your brain registers? And more importantly, what assumptions automatically follow that first glance?
In his own words, Anthony just nails it. That feeling of being defined by a piece of equipment. When that happens, his personality, his sense of humor, his intelligence, all the stuff that makes him him, it can just kind of fade into the background.
But here's the thing, the solution is so simple. It's just genuine human connection. The moment people take a beat, look past the chair, and actually get to know the person sitting in it, that entire barrier, it just disappears.
Now, this is where the story takes a really cool turn, because we're going to look at the incredible outcome of navigating all these obstacles. This isn't a story about what someone can't do. It's a story about how facing challenges builds a totally different kind of strength.
Anthony doesn't try to sugarcoat it. This struggle is real, and it's there every day. He acknowledges it, but not as a complaint. No, for him, it's the starting point for something way more powerful.
And this is that powerful result I was talking about. Every single one of those obstacles becomes a chance to grow. Waiting for a path to clear in a crowded hallway? Well, that's a masterclass in patience. Having to find a whole new route to class because an elevator is broken? That's resilience in action. And every time he succeeds, no matter how small it seems, it builds this foundation of just unshakable confidence.
And it all comes down to this single, powerful choice of self-definition. Anthony decides to focus on everything he can do,
not on the things he can't. It's a huge shift from a mindset of limitation to one of pure empowerment.
So, after hearing Anthony's story, what's the big takeaway for us? It's that true inclusion isn't really about giant policies or big, complicated programs. It all starts with something much smaller. It starts with the simple, personal choice to try and understand someone else's journey. So the real question is, what are we going to do in our own lives to start building that understanding?